Have you been feeling a heavy, unexplainable weight in your head lately? You sit down, fully intending to work, but your body just won't move. You drink coffee, you try to sleep it off, but that persistent mental dullness refuses to lift. While it feels like a failure of character, this sensation is actually a specific, measurable biological state with a clear evolutionary purpose. Think of your brain as a high-performance biological processor. Right now, it is operating under an invisible load called brain fog. The demands of your daily life are pulling too much power, forcing the central network into a dimming state. This warning signifies a biological power-saving mode. To prevent a total system crash, your brain is deliberately diverting energy away from non-essential processing. If you ignore this warning state, the backlog of tasks will keep pulling you further behind. But by applying a specific 3-step, 7-day neuroscience protocol, you can manually reset this system and fully restore your mental clarity. To understand why your brain shuts down, look at the extreme environment of trench warfare during World War I. A soldier named Farr found himself pinned down, facing life-or-death pressure with enemies ahead and commanding officers behind. Harry did not fight, and he did not run. He went completely blank and froze in place, a physical paralysis that military authorities at the time mistakenly labeled as cowardice. Harry's survival circuitry had reached its absolute processing limit. Faced with inescapable danger on both sides, his brain forced his body into a free state to conserve its remaining energy. In the animal kingdom, intense physical stress is temporary. The moment a gazelle escapes a predator, the physical threat is gone, and its nervous system completely flushes the stress response from its system. Humans, however, process abstract, never-ending psychological threats, like career pressure, social media comparison, and family expectations, using the exact same survival circuitry as physical danger. When these modern stressors trigger the same persistent alarm signals as a war zone, the brain eventually hits a breaking point. It cuts power to the logical executive function to prioritize base survival. This state, called allostatic overload, creates the physical sensation of fog, as your logical centers are starved of energy. Step 1 of our 7-day plan attacks this exact biological mechanism. You must perform exactly 20 minutes of aerobic exercise, like walking, cycling, or skipping, every single morning. We know this works because of precise neurological observations made at Harvard Medical School. Psychiatrist and researcher Dr. John Rady isolated human brain cells to observe exactly how they react to physical movement. As this simulation shows, dormant neurons sprout microscopic new branches when introduced to BDNF, a protein naturally released during aerobic exercise. As they connect, it flushes out the stress hormone cortisol, generating fresh neural pathways. Treat this morning routine as a mandatory chemical reset. It is designed specifically to push the brain out of its survival-free state through the targeted release of BDNF. Once your brain is online, you have to protect its limited energy. An unstructured day forces your mind to constantly evaluate endless choices and fend off distractions, which rapidly drains your processing power. This lack of predictability keeps your stress hormones elevated, signaling to your brain that it is still operating in a threatening environment. Comparing these two approaches reveals the solution: a rigid daily schedule. You need a fixed wake-up time, strictly blocked hours, and 3 crystal-clear goals. Imposing this strict structure strips the control away from a chaotic environment and places it entirely in your hands. This directly signals safety to your brain's threat center, giving it permission to divert energy back to your high-level cognitive tasks. The final step ensures your system is physically cleaned. You must completely power down all screens exactly 45 minutes before sleep and commit to a full 8 hours in bed. Notice how these dense biological cells physically shrink by up to 30%, opening wide pathways for the glymphatic system. This is your brain's hidden internal cleaning network, which only activates during deep sleep. Cerebrospinal fluid rushes through the tissue, actively washing away the toxic metabolic waste. But shortening sleep to 5 hours leaves the cycle unfinished. The sweeping fluid stops halfway, allowing toxic debris to remain permanently attached to your brain cells. This is why the 45-minute screen ban is non-negotiable. Artificial light tricks your brain's biological clock into thinking it is still daytime, halting the glymphatic activation process before it can begin. Without this nightly cellular deep clean, your system remains clogged. No amount of morning exercise or perfect daily planning will clear the biological fog if you skip this step. This checklist is your complete 7-day protocol. Morning BDNF activation through 20 minutes of aerobic exercise, daytime stress reduction through a rigid schedule, and a nightly glymphatic flush secured by a 45-minute screen ban and 8 hours of sleep. Understanding the science is the easy part. The real challenge is executing this routine flawlessly for 7 consecutive days. That consistency is the only way to clear your biological backlog. If you struggle with consistency and need a proven framework to build these habits, we created the Self-Mastery Pro system to guide you through it. Go to rewires.com using the link in the description and apply the coupon code REWIRES10 to get the discount before it expires. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Remember, your mental clarity is entirely within your biological control. Thank you for watching.